I really like how other clubs have started hyping the FIFA Club World Cup that will be hosted in the US of A next month, starting on the 14th, I think 14th in the US, and here in South African time it will be the 15th, 2 a.m. in the morning, and the very first game will be the Giants club of the century in Africa, Al Ahly, the Egyptians, versus Lion Messi-led side Inter Miami. Now, people are already saying that because FIFA really wanted to hype this tournament, so they had to include one of the two greatest footballers of our time, Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi. And because USA is hosting the tournament, and there had to be another club that had to get a ticket, to get into the tournament via a backdoor. And that's how exactly controversially Inter Miami has been part of this tournament. Well, this episode is not about controversy or negativity, but more so about promoting this Club World Cup. I like what the opponents of Mamelodi Sundowns did, that is Fluminense, the Brazilians. If you check their Twitter, they said on the 25th of June, it's going to be a Brazilian battle. I think that is, it's a great way for Mamelodi Sundowns to be acknowledged as a Brazilian. We know Mamelodi Sundowns nickname, or one of their nicknames, they call themselves Brazilians because of the way they play football, similar to how Brazilians do their thing. And for Fluminense, who are the real Brazilian, Serie A in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro based side, to acknowledge that and say in Miami it's going to be a Brazilian battle, I think it will leave smiles on Mamelodi Sundowns fans, management, even the team. This thing is really happening, and I can't wait. I am really excited. 32 clubs. A whole lot of things have been said about the tournament, some positives, some negative, some rumors, and you hear things especially from European clubs. Are the European clubs really going to take this tournament seriously, or are they going to use it more as a pre-season for the upcoming season, especially in Europe? Because if you look at the South American calendar, I mean, they've just started their season. I think they're on their 7th game or so. Fluminense, Palmeiras, Flamengo. I'm not sure if Botafogo is part of the club FIFA Club tournament. All I know is that almost a third of the clubs come from Europe. 12 clubs coming from Europe, only 4 from CAF, and that is Wydad Casablanca from Morocco, Al Ahly Egypt, Mamelodi Sundowns South Africa, and Esperance, the Tunisian Giants. But we also have to look at Mamelodi Sundowns. I heard, hence I'm saying, there's a whole lot of things that have been said about the tournament. Initially it was the money, and the next thing, the money was not that figure, and then it was explained and broken down. Now I'm hearing that a special window will be open for the club that will partake in this Club World Cup tournament, for there to be, a temporal loanee arrangement where clubs can borrow players from other clubs who will not be participating in the tournament. They're talking about 6 players. Is this another way of FIFA saying they are desperate to maybe see one of the clubs borrowing a Ronaldo to be part of the tournament? Well, apart from a Ronaldo, because for African clubs, Ronaldo will be, at way too much Ronaldo's contract is coming to an end at Al Nassr in Saudi. And Al Hilal, the Saudi giants, they're part of the tournament. Neymar is no longer playing for them. He's gone back to Brazil. Now, players like Cristiano Ronaldo and Neymar, it would be wonderful, the world, to see them playing for one of those clubs, since their clubs didn't qualify for the tournament. Would we see one of the Brazilian team, borrowing a Neymar to be part of the tournament? Cristiano Ronaldo, playing for one of the sides. We also got the knowledge, I think last month, that one of the teams were kicked out, and I don't know if any club has been selected yet to fill up that one position. I think it's a Mexican team that was kicked out because of some ownership kind of like rights. I think there's an owner that owns 2 teams in the tournament, something along those lines. But I'm not here to delve much into it. But I really need to give what Sundowns needs to sign, who they need to get rid of. Yes, I do go by the name of Oscar Football. We engage and discuss on anything to do with football, from Africa to the world and from the world to Africa. We know that Miguel Cardoso, the Portuguese mentor, is not comfortable working with the size squad that is currently at cloak of Mamelodi Sundowns. So chances are there is going to be a trimming of the squad, and there are some players who will cry tears because they are going to be excluded from the squad that will be heading to US of A. And some of them might come as a shock, and some might actually will have to gradually accept the fact that some of them, they've been plagued with injuries, and some of them, they haven't had a lot of game time at Mamelodi Sundowns. Some of them, we are really sentimental with them because they've been at Mamelodi Sundowns from a tender age, and because of how things are, football is a business, and if you're not performing, and at some point the relationship has to end. Now, if you look at Mamelodi Sundowns, I think the one position, obvious position, that probably needs attention is probably that left back position. Currently, we've got a Terence Mashego, who has not improved ever since he joined from Cape Town City. Yes, there were injuries at some point, but whenever he's been given a chance, he has not made his position his own. Aubrey Mudiba, we appreciate his versatility. He can play as an 8, a 10, a winger, and he also occupies that left back position. And you've got a Divine Lunga, who can also play in a back 3, can play as a left centre back, and can play as a full back and a left back. Last but not least, Aseko Tiwane, 20-year-old, recently got injured. Speedy recovery to your boy, the Tsakane boy, and I don't think he'll be part of the squad, mainly because he's got a long-term injury, so that's why he won't be heading to USA with the squad. So if you look at these 4 players, it is likely that Terence Mashego will definitely be leaving Mamelodi Sundowns. I don't see him going. I don't know when his contract will end, but I don't see him going to US of A. He's probably one of those players that Miguel Cardoso will be maybe seeking a loan for. And recently we've seen a Terence Mashego and a Neo Mayema being released in the chance squad for Bafana B or Bafana C. So if I now have to go to midfield, and Neo Mayema is another one. His contract is ending, and no talks of a renewal, so he's definitely leaving Sundowns. He won't be on that plane going to Americas. If you go to our goalkeeping department, Williams, Onyango, February, Peter C, and the young one Sandile Shabalala. I think everyone is expecting Riyad Peter C. I don't think the guy will complain himself. He hasn't played a lot of games at Sundowns, and It's just the way things are. And if Miguel Cardoso wants to trim the squad, if we have to have 4 goalkeepers to take with, it's going to be those 4. I don't think we need another signing. We still have a keeper at Golden Arrows who's ours. He's on loan. I don't see him coming to Sundowns. So those 4 goalkeepers, unless Shabalala will say, I'm not interested in going to USA. Guys, give me my... I want to leave the club, and but yeah, at this point in time, I think they might renew 12 months or 6 months for Onyango, but definitely Williams, Onyango, February, and Sandil are definitely going to the US of A. I think that's a strong department of ours. And then if you go to the midfield, before I talk about those who are on loan, let's talk about those who are at Sundowns who might possibly also leave. Neomayem, I've mentioned, is definitely leaving. And then you have a player like a blesser, Spelele Mukulisa. He's been given some minutes by Miguel Cardoso. But it's almost like a 50-50. He's been promising for years, promising. He's really talented. He's really gifted. Would I love to see him going to USA? Yes. Would I be shocked if he's one of the players that is leaving the club? No, I won't be shocked. Is there another player that a Miguel Cardoso or Flemingberg, the technical team, the scouts of Mamelodi Sundowns have already identified, you know what, to replace a blesser if he leaves? Who do we have in that midfield? We signed a Jaden Adams in January. We have a Sipho Mbule out on loan. We have a Mukwena. We have an Obas. We have a Rivaldo coming from injury. So there are a number of players in that position, and it's going to be, it won't come as a shock if Mkhulise does not stay at Mamelodi Sundowns come after that CAF Champions League final. Now, who is out on loan? We have a player like a Sipho Mbule, who's also been axed by Skukune United, who were like, we have had enough of this ill discipline for Sipho Mbule. He's a rotten potato who wants to influence other guys. We are tired of this guy. Sundowns, take him. There's an option of a renewal from Sundowns. I doubt it will be a miracle if Mamelodi Sundowns keeps this boy. Multi-talented. I mean, even a blind man can see that Sipho Mbule is a top-tier footballer. But if you don't have discipline in football, you will not last long. The only thing I'm not sure of is, would a Miguel Cardoso entertain the idea of keeping a Sipho Mbule? Yes, I've got a soft spot for Sipho Mbule because he's really gifted. But the discipline is his downfall. And Mamelodi Sundowns, as this top tier football team, premium football team, you don't want to have such a rotten potato in and around you. Will they keep him? I don't know. I think this one, it's at Miguel Cardoso and Flemingberg's court. They will decide what they want to do, but it will be a miracle if he's kept at Naturena. Another player that we've known for years, it's an open secret that he's got almost like, is it fair to say, incurable injury that he can play with unless it is painful. Funny that it's almost like an oxymoron. An injury is supposed to be painful, but he said he plays with an injury that he can play without feeling the pain. I'm talking about Rivaldo Kotsie, the system. The guy is brilliant, a top midfielder. He can play that what do you call it? Is it libero position, starting from centre back, joining the defensive midfield position. He's an excellent player. Would I like to see this player in that plane going to USA? Definite yes. Will it happen? I don't know. I doubt. I think a lot of Mamelodi Sundowns fans are really sentimental when it comes to Rivaldo. The guy will die for Mamelodi Sundowns, considering what Sundowns has done for him, signing him knowingly that he was carrying an injury when Glasgow Celtics rejected him. So I'm not sure sitting here if Mamelodi Sundowns are going to keep him, but if they keep him, I will celebrate because I love a Rivaldo. A whole lot of defenders. Mashiko have said he might not stay. We've got Mvala coming back from injury. I like what Kodoso said about Mvala, that he's a fighter, he's a soldier, he's fearless, he's a player he'd like to have. So Mvala is definitely staying. I'm not sure when his contract is ending, but he's definitely going to the US of A. Chupido hasn't played a lot of minutes. Kino, and obviously I think he's got a fat contract. He ain't going anywhere. He's staying. And so let's talk about the big one. Thembinkosi Lorch. 2 more years on his contract. He had a loan deal with the Wydad Casablanca in Morocco, and it was from January until end of this season. Now Wydad Casablanca are interested in signing the player. They want a Thembinkosi Lorch to go with them to what you call this place, USA. And we know that we at Casablanca have got a Man City, forgot the other teams that are part of that group, and they've been impressed with the Thembinkosi Lorch. Mamelodi Sundowns are willing to sell the player. I think they want between 15 million rands to 20 million rands, and obviously with that figure, probably Mamelodi Sundowns might also use that money to get someone they want, which is in that position that I was talking about, that requires attention, and it is that left back position. Sell Lorch already. The Lorch's position is saturated, so no need to replace him. But now, and these other South Americans that are not useful to Sundowns. You've got Esquivel, you've got the Bolivian who didn't play. Mangoba kept him. I don't see why they should stay. I don't think Suarez should also stay beyond his loan term, which was 6 months. I don't think he should go with us. So all the three South Americans, Suarez, Esquivel, and I'm forgetting the other one now from Bolivia, I think they should all go. And the Mamelodi Sundowns should look for other guys either in Africa or in or I could even go for a Kanyisa Mayo to replace a Esquivel, because Kanyisa Mayo has really built a muscle. He's doing well for CR Belouizdad. But Mamelodi Sundowns, they need to go get Fawaz Pasadine. Is a Bafana international. He's doing well in that left back position. Mudiba can be the one who can replace Neo Mayema in that number 8, number 10 position. He's an intelligent footballer. That is Aubrey the postman, Mudiba. If obviously that's now Mayema leaving. And then if Fawaz Pasadine will have to compete for that left back position with a Divine Lunga, a Aseko Tiwana when he's back, with the Terence Mashiko also leaving Mamelodi Sundowns. But I mean, there's a whole lot of players at Mamelodi Sundowns, but there's going to be trimming. There's going to be players that we will be shocked with some, but it's going to happen. The FIFA Club World Cup is here. I'm excited. We need to support Mamelodi Sundowns, finish the season strong, win the CAF Champions League, and go compete. We do have a chance in this group stage. I believe that Mamelodi Sundowns can progress to the next stage. We can. I think we can stand against the Brazilians, Fluminense. We can stand against that South Korean team, and we can compete against even your Dortmund of Germany. But obviously, there's a whole lot of homework to be done. Maybe they've already started doing analysis of all the opponents, but the focus is finish the league strong and win CAF Champions League against Pyramid FC. If you're seeing this content and if you're seeing this content for the very first time, love it if you join the family by subscribing and liking it really goes a long way by you also watching the ads that are flighted when this episode is playing right on your living room, your phone, your laptop, your PC, and wherever you are. We really appreciate the comments, the love. I love commenting on football games and about my team and anything that happens in and around football, especially in Africa. Let me end it there by declaring, may my God bless you all.